All right, folks, just 2 games left in Week 12, and what a day of football it was. We had 3 games going to overtime. We had one more that came down to the final play of the game. We still have a huge game tonight between the Rams and the Bucs, and especially huge for the Rams given the Eagles' loss today. If they can win tonight, they are in firm control of the number 1 seed in the NFC, so we'll see what they can do tonight. But a lot of stuff going on today, a lot to talk about. I had to just pick a couple things to talk about, and I'm going to start with the Cowboys' huge comeback today at home versus the Eagles. And this was an incredible comeback. If you look at Dak Prescott, I thought he was phenomenal today. He had over 350 yards passing. George Pickens had over 150 yards receiving, And before the season, I was really skeptical of this George Pickens trade. It seemed like nobody really wanted him. Steelers didn't want him on their team, but he has been really good for them. I think he's actually even been a little better than CeeDee Lamb. And I thought Dak was incredible today. But what is wrong with the Eagles right now? If you look at Saquon Barkley, he had 10 carries for 22 yards today, and he is now well under 4 yards per carry on the season. They just cannot run the ball at all this year. I don't know what's going on. Saquon was my fantasy MVP last year. This year, he is the weakest link on my team, and they can't get anything going on the run game. And if you look at the Eagles today, they did not score a single point for the last 42 minutes of the game. They were up 21-0 in the second 11 minutes and 42 seconds left in the second quarter. Did not score from there on out against a defense that's really not very good. And right now, they got a lot of things to figure out on offense because they really have the clogged toilet offense type look to them. So number 2, how about the Bears? The Bears have now won 8 of their last 9 games. They get an enormous win today versus Pittsburgh, probably the best defense they've faced all season. And I was really skeptical of Caleb at the beginning of the year. I didn't think he was playing very good, but if you look at him now, he had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions today. He is now up to 16 touchdowns and only 4 interceptions on the season. They haven't played a very tough schedule, but you get a lot of credit for winning 8 out of 9 games. That's really impressive regardless of who you're playing. They have their biggest game of the season coming up in Sunday again when they go to Philadelphia, on Black Friday. That'll be extremely interesting to watch. Number 3, the Patriots with their 9th straight win. And if you look at this division right now versus the NFC East, all they have to do is take care of the Giants, Jets, and Dolphins at home, and they will win the division. And it really clears up for them. And I thought this was kind of an impressive win because regardless of who you're playing, if you win 9 straight, it's impressive. But I thought they were really due for a letdown game. They were down 10-0 early in this game. I turned the channel for about 7 minutes, and I turned it back, and they were up 17-10. And it flipped in a hurry. Drake May had a terrible interception early on that went back for a pick 6, but I thought he was pretty good again all day long. Now, one thing here is they lost Will Campbell today, and that injury did not look good. He's their best offensive lineman on an already fairly shaky offensive line. If he is out long-term, I think that could really hurt their chances in the playoffs of really making a lot of noise, but we'll see how that plays out over the next few days. And then number 3, the Chiefs saved their season. And I thought this was the end of the Chiefs' run here for a long time today. Now, they still have a long ways to go. But if you look at it, they're down 11 points, and they fumble on the 6-yard line in the first play of the fourth quarter. I thought it was over. Then they forced 4 straight 3-and-outs versus the best offense in the league. They score a touchdown, get a 2-point conversion, then kick a field goal. Mahomes had 382 total yards. But I thought the real story of this game was the defense. They basically, from the start of the game, said, we're not going to let Jonathan Taylor beat us. They really loaded the box. They were not going to let Jonathan Taylor get loose. And for the first half, they were really just daring Daniel Jones to beat him. And for the first half of the game, I thought Daniel Jones was incredible. And I was thinking, if Daniel Jones plays like this all season, this is the best team in the NFL. In the second half, he really struggled. I think he was 3 of 13 and had under 20 yards passing. They just basically dared Daniel Jones to beat him, and they couldn't do it. And if you look at the Chiefs, they got the Dallas Cowboys coming up on Thanksgiving, another huge important game for them, as they all are from here on out. But if you look at the Colts, now they're 8-3, and their schedule is really not looking great. They don't play a team with a losing record the rest of the season. And I think they could go 2-4 or 3-3 over these last 6 games because it is a pretty brutal schedule to finish out the year. And number 4, I thought the Lions also saved their season today. If they lost this game, I don't think they had any hope of making the playoffs. They play Green Bay at home on Thanksgiving, and I think there's only room in the playoffs for one of those 2 teams. I think whoever loses on Thanksgiving is really going to have a tough time getting in the playoffs. But more interesting, I think Jameis Winston has now cemented himself as the most interesting and most fascinating player in the NFL to watch. He had 360 yards, 6 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, and 1 terrible interception. And every single play was just a roller coaster ride. He had several times where it looked like he was going to be sacked, then he launched it deep. You just never knew what you're going to get out of him. I thought that the Giants had this game won. The Lions were able to come back and win it and save their season, but they have an enormous game against the Packers on Thursday night. So that's what I saw in Week 12. Can't wait for tonight to watch the Rams-Bucks, and we'll talk to everyone later.